cause you any sorrow. So it never meant to cause you any pain. Hey, Eduardo! Dude, are we back? I don't know, man. We got a couple days. Let's try and make a couple videos. Anyway, be quiet, Eduardo. No, nope. It's not full time yet. Just hold on, bro. Hey! Anyway, this is the Sal Canelo Alvarez versus Amir Khan fight, right? It's coming up on the 7th. It's only like 6 days away. Anyway, I'm going to break down both the fighters and give the prediction at the end, right? All right. We'll start out with Amir Khan. You know, he's 29 years old, 5'8.5", got a 71-inch reach. He's 31-3, 19 KOs for a 56% knockout ratio. And, you know, last win. Oh, okay. Let's forget the BS, all right? This is a big step up for him. He's going up into the middleweight division. This is his first fight in the middleweight division, and he's not even the number 1 ranked light, you know, or super welterweight or light, you know, middleweight dude. You know, he's under Garcia, who beat him handedly. And, you know, and now they're stepping up and having him fight Canelo Alvarez. That doesn't take away from the fact that he has amazing speed. He has good power behind those. He can throw every punch. He goes to the body. You know, he works distance well. You know, all of those factors definitely play into his thing. The problem is you go back, his last knockout, like legit knockout, on somebody that was 140 pounds or more. I mean, basically, actually, he's never really done that. You got to go back to like 3.5 years ago. And, you know, that's what we struggle at. You know, and his last 5 fights have all been against fighters with knockout ratios under 50. In fact, Algieri and a couple of the others were under 33%, or right at 33% when they fought him. So he's not going against guys with power. When you look at guys that he's fought with power, you go to the Breedis Prescott, which was shocking when it happened. Don't worry about the Lamont Peterson fight because he was all jacked on roids. And then you go to the Danny Garcia fight. And Garcia is still under 60%, but he brings that swiftness and dealing with that. Now he's not going to be dealing with a lot of that speed per se, that middleweight speed when he fights Canelo. Canelo's fast for a middleweight. He's not fast for a welterweight. So he's going to have the speed advantage, and he's going to have to use that speed advantage. He's going to have to use the fact that he works the body very well. He can, as we said, he throws every punch, but he does struggle with pressure fighters. And we saw that with Canelo when he fought Cotto. You know, Canelo can put the pressure on people, you know, and he's going to in this fight. And how Khan deals with that is going to determine how he's going to do. You know, he has the heart to war. He has that ability to go in there and bang. There's no questioning Khan's heart when it comes to this fight, or any fight that Khan is in. He's there. He's got it. But when you step up in weight, you lose a little bit of your speed. Not all of it, not even close. But you do lose just that little bit, that half a step. Maybe the punch that you would have easily went by, maybe it grazes. Or maybe the one that might have just grazed now gets you and hits you a little bit more flush than it used to. Okay? So we need to look at that as the fight progresses, as it goes on. We also need to look at, with Khan, because he is stepping up in weight, and this is his first time stepping up in weight to this level, we will see whether or not that does in fact affect his cardio, and how is he going to fade as it gets in the later rounds. Khan is naturally a 140-pound fighter. That's where he's been. That's where he was. Now, as you get older, you do tend to step up and move up in the weights. Pacquiao did it. Mayweather did it. All the greats, you know, they start out really low, but then they, you know, put on that man muscle, and they just naturally go up in weight. So a 147 was a natural progression for him. I do not believe the 155 step up is a natural progression for Khan. So the one thing we always have to look at is his chin. We need to question that. I think we should always question that, and he needs to be careful with that. It's not it's not going to work out well for him if he gets caught solid flush. If he gets hit with one of those, it's not going to be good. So he's going to have to use that get in, get out, like he does very, very well against Canelo. Use his speed advantage if he's to have any shot at beating Alvarez. If we go over to Canelo Alvarez there, he's the bigger fighter. We know this. He's 5'9", a little bit taller. The reach, surprisingly, he's a half inch less than what Khan has at 70 and a half. But when you look at him at 46-1-1, and he's got the 32 knockouts for over a 67% knockout ratio, we know he's got the power. This is as natural a weight for him as it's going to get. In fact, I see him moving up because he's only 25. And let that sink in. 48 fights, he's only 25. Okay? He is not even in his prime. He's on the precipice of his prime. He's getting ready to go into his prime. Khan, fully in his prime, 29 years old. But we have this with Alvarez. He is just getting into his prime, which is amazing to think of. When you think of the fighters he's fought with Mayweather and some of the others, and then you have him coming in and beating Cotto in his last fight. Cotto was 35. Granted, people will argue it's an old 35 because of what the Margarito fight kind of did to him, and the fact that Cotto wars. But Cotto's a bad man, and if you think otherwise, something wrong with you, you might want to go to a different channel. Just saying. Anyway, we look at that. Some question the Irislandi-Lara fight, and you have a right to. I mean, if you watched it, it totally depends on your style and what you think and the slip and slide. But the slip and slide is good for the amateurs. It's not good for the pros. It doesn't translate over. So you see that a lot of times once it comes over to the pros. Yeah, you're not really getting a lot of that stuff. You work in the jab a lot better. I mean, Alvarez landed like 5 jabs the entire fight or something. It was so low, it was pathetic. He landed like 5% of the jabs he threw, which is terrible. Well, obviously, Lara landed a lot more jabs. But when it came to power shots, that changed. And that's the pro game. While they will award boxing ability, you've got to be effective. Okay? Does that make sense? I don't know. If you're landing the more powerful shots and you're holding your own against the guy and you're landing the cleaner, more solid shots, it's kind of going to go in your way. Crushed Kirkland. But then again, people will say, well, Ann Wolfe wasn't in his corner. And that you might have a legit argument about, because Ann Wolfe is she's a beast, man. And if she's got you and the way she trains and the way she makes those fighters, she brings out, I believe, the best in Kirkland. And Canelo didn't get the best Kirkland, but he smoked out the Kirkland he got. And that was a bigger, stronger fighter than what Amir Khan is. Not as fast. I'll give you that. He's still an active, aggressive fighter when you start looking at it, especially to the body. He, unlike Lara in that fight, went to the body, I think it was 88 times or close to that, actually landing body punches, big body punches. And when that happens to somebody that is moved up in weight, that's not used to dealing with that wind, as those ribs get dented a little bit, that could be a big thing there. He does struggle a bit with fighters, the boxers, the slick fighters, the ones that keep their distance. You look at the Mayweather fight, but if you look at my video of that fight, did I put a video out for that fight? If I did, this is what I would have said. He took the fight too early. In that, again, he's not even in his prime. I wouldn't even recommend he take the Mayweather fight right now because he's not there yet. 2 years from now, when he's 27, absolutely go for it. But not then. He took it too early, but when you got 44 fights under your belt, roughly, you take that fight. You do have a crazy amount of experience for a fighter, but not for him. He's still growing, which is scary when you start thinking about that. Um, and like I said, he struggles with those fighters that fight off the back foot, and that's what I believe Khan is going to do in this fight. He does work the high and low. He's getting better. Um, he works better with the mid to close range fight. He can more, and we saw that in the Cotto fight where they went at it. The shocking thing, or the thing that I was impressed with a little bit more, was the fact that his stamina withheld, and he was able to go the full distance. Typically, you see it with a Canelo fight, he starts fading a little bit. It looks like he's corrected that a little bit, because in the Lara fight, he faded in the last 3 rounds. And I believe that's why, there was the questions as to whether or not he won that fight all out or not. Okay, you feeling me? So if he's got his conditioning under wraps there, he's getting in condition, and you have Khan trying to get in condition for this weight. That's not a good combo for that. He's got power. Did I already talk about he's good at countering? Yeah. He's been dealing with fighters now that are boxers that get in and get out. His last couple fights, if you look at them, are kind of building up to almost like fighting a guy like Khan. And when Khan gets in there and he does that get in to get out, if he gets in and catches one, just play the fiddle, man, because violin going, he's going to be snoring. He's going to be sleeping. Anyway, still improving as a boxer puncher. I can't say this enough. He's only 25. Did I mention he's 25? Eduardo! Okay, I did. Okay. Cumulative power when we start looking at what Alvarez does. It's not necessarily that one shot that just puts the lights out. It's the fact that he hits you numerous times in the same friggin' area. Oh, it's so... Anyway, that gets to you and it breaks you down. And you saw that in the Cotto fight too as well. It started getting to him. First round, second round, third round, not so much. Hit him with a good shot in the fourth. Starts to wake you up a little bit. It's cumulative, and it just keeps adding up and adding up and adding up and taking away little by little by little. As I said, he works that body. Lara didn't work the body at all. So if you want to talk about, the judging and stuff like that, if all you are is a headhunter, kind of hard to get with. Yeah, you land a lot of jabs. They're jabs. Okay? And again, we went back with the stamina. So, if you really wanted to look for an excuse or a reason, if you're looking for a reason as to why you think Amir Khan has a shot in this fight, you're going to look at the Lara fight. You're going to look at the Cotto fight. You maybe even look at the Mayweather fight and see how he struggles against fighters that keep their distance, kind of fight off that back foot a little bit. But if you want to be real about it, you're going to look at the more of that you can put size on, you can get big, you can do all that stuff. The chin doesn't magically appear. You have it or you don't. And I think with the pressure that Canelo is going to put on Amir Khan, you're going to see that take effect, and it's going to be over. All right? So I think Alvarez is going to win. I think he's going to win within 6 rounds. So by knockout. And that's all we got. Isn't that right? Man, it's a long one. Went like 14 minutes. It's crazy. Anyway, hope you all have a fantastic day. God bless, and try and put out a couple more of those. All right? Ready, Eduardo? We're out.